Hi, this is Katie from Hooks and Cocoa, and I'm just explaining how I did my post stitches on my Ciera cardigan. I had it on the front on this one, but it's showing how I did the straight line so that way it's a complete line. So I just started and I've crocheted 20 stitches just to make that even, and then I just did a row of half double crochet because normally in the pattern you're going to do front post, back post. So I'm just going to half double crochet for 9 stitches. Okay, and instead of doing a half double crochet or stitching in a stitch, I'm going to do a post. So you go around that front post, and that's considered a front post double crochet, and that's where we start our lines. So I'm going to do 2 of those, and that follows the pattern, and then I'm just going to half double crochet for 9 stitches again to get us back so that I can show you the reverse side of the rows. And I usually count from the end in on how many stitches you need to do. It just helps me see which stitches I need to go into to get my stitch counts correct. Alright, and there you'll see you'll have the 2 post stitches, and so I'm just going to go ahead and turn the work, and then we're going to start working on the other row, and that will be dealing with back post stitches, but we're going to start I guess spreading them into that V shape. So I'm going to half double crochet for 8 stitches. So the pattern is 1 less half double crochet on like the outsides of the post stitches, and then I'm going to do 2 post stitches in between, and that's going to help it give that shape. So now what I'll do is I'll kind of flip the work back. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. And there's going to be that post stitch. You just directly stitch into that post stitch. And that's how you're going to keep them connected pretty much the whole way through. And then I'll kind of go back to that working side that we're on, and then I'm going to do half double crochets for 2 stitches. So 1, 2. And then I'm going to do a back post stitch again. Sorry, that's really hard to see. Into the post stitch. And then I count in from the inside, so I'll count 8 in, and you'll essentially be skipping a stitch to go out, because we kind of did 2 stitches technically in the post stitch on the last half. So then I'll show you the front post side as well. Okay, and so this is what it's kind of going to look like with those 2 V's and the stitches going the same way. So now we're going to half double crochet for 7 stitches. Again, the pattern is to minus 1. Sorry, that's kind of hard to explain. But to decrease by 1 before the post stitches, so there's that front post stitch. And I'm actually skipping a stitch before it to get the 7. And then I kind of push the post stitch forward a little bit because there's that little V in the back, and that's where you do your half double crochet. So you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll work a front post double crochet straight into the post of the previous row. And then we're going to count in. I count in again from the end. But really you're just skipping a stitch and then continuing your half double crochet for the remainder of the row. Alright, so we'll do another back post row. So you're going to do your chains and then work your half double crochets in. So now we are on 6 before the V design. Alright, so then you kind of push your piece back, grab it under that post. Sorry, I'm trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. So there's the post right there, so I'm just gonna hook it underneath. Sorry. There we go. And then I'm going to work 8 stitches in between. So there's the skipped stitch. So you push the post forward a bit, and then you hit the stitch that's kind of hidden behind the post. And that's when you'll work 8 stitches before we're on the V to the other side. So then you'll again hook it underneath that post so it's all connected, skip a stitch, and then continue your half double crochets. If you're making a big garment, it's going to be a lot harder to count in from the side. It's easy for me to do when I'm just having 20 stitches. So just make sure that you're skipping a stitch right after the post. It just makes sure your stitch counts match the pattern. Alright, I'll do one more front post side. So you can see the V is coming up in the texture. So now it's going to be 5 half double crochets, and then technically it's the skip stitch, so we're going to skip a stitch and then work the post stitch directly into the post from the previous side. You don't split them up. And then you push that post forward and half double crochet into the stitch behind it. And we're going to do 10 stitches now. So the stitch counts in between the V increases by 2 every row, whereas the outside stitches decrease by 1. Okay, so we're going to do another front post double crochet, skip a stitch, and then go ahead and work the 5 half double crochets, or however many the pattern requires. And let me know if you have any questions. If there's still some confusion, don't bother to, sorry, that was the wrong way to say it. Don't hesitate to comment below. But here's that V for the post stitches, and just let me know if that answers your questions. Thanks. Bye.